what do you think of the quality in your equipment after owning it for 10 years, comparably to some of the stuff that you've seen out there?
Well, the ball screw technology to me is huge. If you remember way back when I first got my IS,
Yep.
I crashed that thing hard.
That's the one where you almost put it through the garage door, wasn't it?
That'd be the one.
Yeah.
So I had a small sheet fall up against the gantry, or against the frame, actually. And I was on the other side of the machine, set it to go change a tool, didn't know it was there. It took that 4-foot sheet, threw it into the wall, and it threw my whole gantry off, I don't know, what, inch and a half maybe. Had I not been freaking out so bad, I probably would have videoed it, but I called tech support.
Yep.
And I think I got Logan at the time. And his first words were, all right, well, just calm down. It'll be fine. And I'm like, it's not going to be, I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
And had me rehome it. And I watched this thing come back, square itself up.
Yep.
Nothing broke. And we did a couple test cuts.
You lost a little material there, didn't you?
I lost a little material. I do have a little mark on the machine.
Yeah.
But, nothing happened. Where if that's a rack and pinion machine, all those teeth are going to be likely going to be wrecked.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the durability of that, when we do carvings, like, a couple years ago, you've seen some of the pictures where we have a, 20-yard dumpster full of sawdust.
Yeah.
Where we're carving 4-inch thick MDF into, what was that, a 17 by 25 foot wall.
Yeah. That was impressive for anybody who's trying to picture this. It was literally a giant dumpster just full of MDF dust that he had turned all of that dust from a 3D carving.
Yep. And so, with that, the precision, I mean, it's constant movement.
That's awesome.
Throughout the entire table. And we don't have to worry about it anywhere. You know, it's going to be the same cut no matter where you are on the table, and perfect every time.
Well, that's that ball screw that you're talking about. I mean, what people don't realize, for anybody who's not familiar with ball screw, is ball screws, they have a ball bearing that is going to move in a track, essentially, just like the linear guide system. But the benefit of it is, as you move up and down the long axis of the machine, in your case 10 feet, the accuracy doesn't change.
Right.
That ball bearing is riding with the gantry all the way up and down, where a gear and teeth drive system, a rack and pinion system, the track doesn't move. The track is the same track all the way down, 10 feet of machine. So the teeth in, the positions at 2 feet of the machine are different teeth than the ones at 10 foot. So, Sean, let's talk about, that for a moment.
You get a little more wear on a rack and pinion too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is, let's talk about that, because you have a 10-foot machine. Mm-hmm. How often do you truly cut 5 foot wide by 10 foot on every cut?
For a full length cut?
Yeah, full length cut.
Not real often.
Yeah, so most of the time, even though you're putting a 10-foot sheet up there, you might be working in the first 8 foot of the machine more than you are that last 2 feet, right?
Right. It just depends on if we're doing a 3D carve or if we're doing cabinet stuff.
Yeah, and so the point of my statement there is, let's just go off of what he said. He's not often cutting every single time to 10 feet.
Right.
And so if you're not, if you were running a rack and pinion system, you'd be wearing the track in those first 4 to 6 to 8 feet more than you would be in the end of the machine, because you're not going the full distance. And so if that's the case, you're going to wear out teeth in the front end of the machine. So now later on, as you go back to the comment you made earlier about doing this big carving, now your accuracy is going to change from the front of the machine to the back of the machine, because that track doesn't move.
Right.
The teeth are worn out up front, but they're not worn out in the back because of the cabinet work and all the commercial work you've been doing. So when you get to this higher precision stuff that you need to do, or MDF doors is a perfect example of that, you're going to start running into a situation where you might see marks and see things. Is that correct?
Yeah. Where with this, we don't have to. We always say it came out perfect.
Yeah.
We expect that.
Yeah.
Well, everybody that has a machine expects it, but not everybody gets it.
Yeah.
And I get that every time.
Yeah.
Unless I screwed something up, it's going to come out the way I expect it to and come out perfect every time.
And I've always told people that the machine's going to do exactly what you tell it to. Yeah. Good or bad, it's going to do what you tell it to. Yeah. So sometimes you program it wrong, you're going to do something wrong.
Yep.